Good morning again, and welcome to this special edition of Inside Oakwood with Dr. Leslie Pollard. He is joined with several guests today, but we're going to let him do that because we know we got to get that word first, Dr. Pollard, on this Motivation Monday. Then we're going to get to all the wonderful information that you have to share with your guests.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Donna. Happy Monday to you. It's a great motivational Monday to be here.
Yes.
It really is. I was just thinking as we were reflecting on what we're going to be talking about today. That 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 18 through 24 is where the Apostle Paul says, to the Jew I became as a Jew, to the Greek, to the weak I became as weak, to the strong I became as strong, in order that I might by all means save some. And this is really Paul's most clear approach to how he managed the different cultures that he interacted with. So he looked at the culture, he read it, and then he contextualized and he adapted so that he could get into the culture in order to be a blessing, in order to he said, and I do all of this that I might win some. It's probably one of the most dynamic statements that he ever made. It showed us how he did his missionary work. And so a part of what I want to say this morning is that as we look at the word, the notion of crossing cultures and crossing barriers in order that the gospel might benefit every people group is embedded in the scripture. Now, in order to do that, we have to go beyond tolerance. For many, many years in diversity education, people talked about tolerance. But tolerance has its limitations, does it not?
Yes, it does.
So I want to imagine, how long have you been married?
16 years.
16 years.
Yes.
Okay, so you've been married 16 years. So on your 17th anniversary, your 17th year anniversary, your husband plans for you all to go on a cruise. You know, we'd be able to cruise back again by
Well,
then.
I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll be back. Okay. So he plans for you to go on a cruise and candlelight dinner and lots of memories. And he looks across the candlelight and he says, Donna, with every passing year, I tolerate you more and more.
And that was the end.
And that was it. And the next word, a man overboard, right? Man overboard. So when we think about tolerance, it has its limitations. Christians have a better word.
Yeah.
Our word is love.
Yes. Okay.
And once we understand the power of love and its inclusive power and its redeeming power, that's what the Apostle Paul did. And so I commend that to our readers this morning to look at that.
Yes.
And what we're talking about today is an activity of love that Oakwood University is embracing cultural groups that historically were not embraced.
Right.
Historically, we're not embraced. Okay, so what we've got to do then as we do that is create avenues so that the blessings of Oakwood University can be shared across multiple cultures, because Oakwood is a transformational place. And transformation, by its very nature, has to jump across the boundaries and the barriers that keep people apart.
Wow. I love that.
I tolerate you more and more.
Don't say that. Don't say that. All the husbands out there be listening. Don't say
that's
that.
Not the word. That's not the word of the day. I tolerate you more. It's I love you more and more with each passing day. So we have a better word than tolerance. Our word is agape. It's love.
I love that.
And so this morning we've got some guests who are here with us and who are doing a tremendously loving work on the Oakwood University campus. We have Pastor Isaac Ibarra, who is our special assistant to the president for diversity and inclusion. And so he's going to talk about the kinds of things that are happening as he does outreach across cultures on behalf of Oakwood University. He's a 2-time graduate of Oakwood. He graduated with a bachelor's. See? So he graduated with a bachelor's and a master's degree from Oakwood University. Has been a highly successful pastor.
Nice.
Is an engine of creativity and outreach. And we're just so blessed to have him, one of the tremendous leaders on our campus. And then we're also pleased to have Dr. Octavio Ramirez, who will be here with us. He is the chair of our Department of Social Work, and he is doing a tremendous job leading that department and teaching young people these very principles that we're talking about. How do you care for people who are not like you? Their values may be different. How do we live out the gospel in those spaces, in those places? How do we connect people with resources in their communities as social workers? I've got 2 social workers in my family. So how do you connect people and resources? And he leads out in that and is a tremendous asset to the University.
Wow.
So we welcome them this morning, and we're going to talk about diversity and inclusion at Oakwood University.
Wow. So let's start right there. How diverse is Oakwood University?
Okay, so most people, almost every HBCU I know is extremely diverse. So let's take us. We've got 54 different countries at our last count represented on campus. All you've got to do is do the Walk of Nations of graduation weekend up there by the library.
Yes.
For those who have never been to our campus, we have a place called the Walk of Nations, and you walk the sidewalk and you see all the flags represented.
Right.
So that's
and those are not just there to be pretty. They represent somebody that's actually here on our campus from that country.
Amen. That's right. You try not putting somebody's flag up there and see what happens. They actually represent because everybody will remind, hey, you don't have my flag up there. Where's our flag?
Right.
And of course, then we make a note of that.
How many other colleges or universities do that? I'm just
quite
curious.
A few do.
Really?
Quite a few do.
Okay. Because I really haven't seen. I've been on some campuses, but I haven't seen it. Maybe I just didn't go in the right place.
Maybe not the right time. So 54. Let's start there with 54 different countries.
Okay.
And then let's do some myth busting. Simply because people are of the same hue doesn't mean that they're monolithic, right? That's clear, right? So some things are so clear that we don't even have to say them. So part of what we are teaching our institution to do is to value the diversity that exists on our campus already rather than reaching for someone else. Now, I say to parents sometimes when they say, well, the reason I'm not going to go to an HBCU because I'm looking for a more diverse experience. Well, that's why you should reach for an HBCU.
Exactly. Yes,
that's part of the reason you should. Because the tremendous diversity of experience, and students say that all the time. We met with seniors on last Thursday night before the graduation, or Thursday night before. We met with the senior class, and one of the things that they kept mentioning, this was my first time learning how to relate to persons from different cultures and countries and all of those things. So when we think about diversity, let's not limit it to race and
a color of skin.
Simply the color of skin, because ethnicity, nationality, language, all of these are elements and aspects of gender. All of these are aspects of diversity.
Right.
And how we celebrate them, not tolerate them, how we celebrate them will say what kind of institution we are.
Okay. So, Mr. Ibarra.
You got that right. I heard you this morning. You got that right.
Break this down for us. And what does that mean? As Dr. Pollard just explained, we're loving on our individuals who are not like us. We're diverse and we're about inclusion. So break that down for us, and how does that work on our campus?
Good morning. Thank you for having
us.
Good morning.
Say a little bit about your background, Isaac, where you're from, Oakwood, the whole scene, and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, well, that's, where do I start? I always said this, Dr. Pollard, I was born in Cuba. Born in Cuba. From my mother's side, they're from Jamaica.
Yes, okay.
From my father's side, they're from Spain.
Okay.
My wife, she's Puerto Rican.
Oh, my.
I look Dominican. And my kids, they're confused. They don't really know. I guess talking about diversity.
That's very diverse. Yes, very diverse.
But I'm glad that as I was listening to Dr. Pollard about talking about diversity, especially I was reflecting on HBCU.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of articles that I've been reading on diversity at HBCU, and there's some articles under the title, "Is Diversity Destroying HBCU?" And there's one in particular that actually I think talks about what actually been happening at Oakwood University.
Okay.
And like Dr. Pollard mentioned, let me give you some data in some year that is personal to me at Oakwood University.
Okay.
I came as a freshman 2006.
2006. Okay.
Data shows, our internal data, that there were 8 Latino students, 5 male. I was one of the 5, and 3 female, and my wife was one of the female. Now, let's just move forward to my 2010. That was my year, class 2010.
Okay, yes.
Oh,
wow.
When I graduated, we had 20.
Wow.
10 female and 10 male.
Okay.
Let's go to 2014. That year is important to me because I received my master.
Right.
Yeah.
From Oakwood University.
From Oakwood University. we had 46 Latino.
It doubled.
Wow.
Now let's go to 2018. What is
Uh-oh.
important to me because I'm officially became the special assistant to the president.
Right, on diversity and inclusion.
On
yes.
diversity and inclusion.
Uh-huh.
So then 46,
Wow.
2014, and 2018, 85.
Wow.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I was reading
Amazing.
on some data on the Department of Education and talking about HBCU. And in the last decade, the trend across HBCU being down, the trend enrollment trend being down.
Right.
But it's important to highlight that the increase on not blacks on HBCU being up
It has.
to 17%.
Yeah.
So I want to compare what is actually happened at HBCU across the country and what being happened at Oakwood University, and we see actually that is consistent. And
Yes,
I am
absolutely.
glad, and I'm finished this section saying this. I am glad that Oakwood University is doing things in a special way. I believe it was Ray Goforth that said that there's only two types of people in this world. One that are afraid to try something new, and the other that are afraid that you will succeed.
Okay, yeah, that went in the opposite direction. I was thinking.
Yeah, that's powerful. Yeah,
That went
that's
there.
powerful. That's powerful. And
Wow.
we do know, Donna, that at HBCUs, that one of the growing population is the Latino population.
Right.
Latinos are discovering a cultural compatibility within HBCUs.
Okay.
It's a fascinating. There are lots of studies on this now. It's fascinating.
Now,
Really
were we actually intentional about that? Was an increase, really, profound increase over the years. Was that intentional, or was that just like you're saying? It was like organically they were understanding that this was a compatible place to come.
Were you here? You were here back then. Well, so many of the years that he talked about. Yes. So yes, absolutely. And here's why. Because many institutions have what I call accidental diversity. I spent many years in diversity before we turned to Octavio. I spent many, many years in diversity. And there are two kinds of diversity on campus. There's intentional diversity and there's accidental diversity.
Right.
Now, how do you know the difference? Intentional diversity is when we intentionally reach out to groups and we begin to mirror the life of the group at every level of the institution.
Okay.
Right? Because when people come to an institution, just like us, when we entered white institutions, we wanted to see ourselves.
Right.
We want to see ourselves in the faculty. We want to see ourselves in administration. The groups need to see themselves. That's intentional diversity.
Okay.
Accidental diversity is just a happenstance of shifting demographics. And so you might have diversity at the base, but nothing in the administration looks like that.
Right.
That's accidental. And that's often where the problems come, because in the absence of intentional diversity, the community is not being educated on how to receive, celebrate, and embrace difference.
So we are intentional about it.
Absolutely.
Oakwood University is intentional about it.
I wouldn't have spent all those years working in this area, writing articles, publishing on
How many years have you been here, Dr. Pollard?
9 years. Can you believe that? It feels like yesterday.
9 years. Okay, just for the audience, you graduated what year?
I graduated 1978.
78. So and then you
graduated.
left and did all whatever, and then you came back 9 years ago.
And came
Wow.
back with this particular skill set that I had acquired, among other things, I hope. But certainly this one, understanding the role of cultural competency in the life of an organization. It's extremely important. Not everybody understands it, but it's a blessing where it is embraced. It becomes a blessing and the organization becomes stronger. It reaches more people. Its footprint expands. It's just tremendous. Okay.
All right, before we wait, I have one more
Octavio,
question
Octavio.
before we get to Octavio, and we're gonna come to you, Octavio, because we want to know how we're actually loving on everybody. But listen, and then I forgot my question. Okay, are you going out? What else? What are you doing? What kinds of things are you doing though? Because Dr. Pollard talked about actually going out and reaching and finding those people, as opposed to being, just accidental. So tell me about some of the activities that you do, and then we're gonna go to Octavio.
Yes, I think a better question will
Okay.
be what we are not doing,
Okay. What we're
because
not
we are
doing.
doing everything.
Oh,
We
wow.
want to make sure that we touch every aspect of the Latino community,
Okay.
because I understand that there's a lot of blessing that is taking place here at Oakwood University,
Hmm.
but sometimes people don't know about it.
Hmm.
You know, that's why we are intentionally are going to churches.
Hmm.
We are intentional at being at events. We are intentional of sharing our story. And a big thing that is actually happened at Oakwood University with the Latino community, I will say that this is the best thing that is happening at Oakwood University,
Hmm.
is that Oakwood University has provided a place for the Latino community to feel as a family. We
Hmm.
have a church on campus. It
Hmm.
calls Ola.
Right.
And we have that
That's right.
environment where people and the Latino student and people from the community, they feel love,
Hmm.
they feel welcome, and they tell the story. They
Hmm.
tell the story to their friend, they tell the story to the community,
Hmm.
and there's nothing more powerful. I don't want to preach, but there's nothing more
Go ahead. Go
powerful. I
ahead.
know we're here to dialogue, we're not here to preach.
That's all right.
Okay, but let me say this. There's nothing more powerful than a testimony,
Right.
Amen.
Oh, right.
and that's what we've been going now and
Right.
telling our story.
All righty. So now we're going to turn over to Mr. Dr. Octavio Ramirez. How are you doing? Uh-oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. I did that again. It's me. Yes, sir. How you doing over
I'm
there?
doing great this morning. Good morning to all. I just wanted to add with what Dr. Pollard and Elder Ibarra has said about the intentionality that we see here on campus. It's because the university is intentional and has been intentional about sharing the richness and the wonderful things that are happening on campus with a diverse group of people, that what we're seeing and what we have been seeing over the years is that our best recruiters and the individuals who best inform others of the wonderful things that are happening here are students themselves.
Mm.
And so we're seeing that our students are telling other students, and they're going back home and they're saying, we just love the environment.
Mm.
We are enjoying our experience. Um, that we're seeing other people also becoming interested in being part of what's going on here.
Mhm.
And I just want to add that because again, the intentionality that we are seeing on campus and by our administration, that not just college students are knowing about this institution and deciding to join and be part of it, but over the years, we've seen that many families, entire families, come and move and relocate to this environment.
Mm.
And so other entities also also benefit from it. So we see the academy benefit. We see the LEAP program benefiting because entire families want to relocate here and join and be with their children who are attending the university. So to be honest with you, this intentional effort that we're seeing at different levels under the leadership of President and Elder Ibarra, it's making a big difference and a big impact here in our campus.
Wonderful. Tell us a little bit about yourself because you've been here a while, but a lot of people still haven't seen you. How long have you been here? And tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So I was born in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. But at the age of 9, I immigrated here to this country. I had to learn the English language.
Wow.
But I learned it early enough where some people say that my Latino and others would say, no, you still have that Puerto Rican accent. But some say that it disappeared. And so I grew up in the New Jersey, Philadelphia area. Went to school in Rutgers, and it was later on that I had the opportunity to teach once I graduated and got my studies. And it was always my intent to give back. I believe the Lord has done so many things in my life that I wanted to give back and serve Him. And the best way that I saw myself being able to do that is to teach others and serve at at an Adventist institution. So being here is actually a dream, and it's coming through, and it's actually a passion of mine to be able to give back to the young people.
Yeah. So listen, tell us about as you are chair of the Department of Social
Mhm.
Work. Tell us some of the specific things that you do to help support the diversity of our student body.
Sure. So not just within the department, we are very intentional. Let's start with the social work department. I work with tremendous colleagues, Dr. George Ashley, Dr. Shalonda Sherrod, Professor Lorraine Fry, as well as other adjuncts that join us. And we're intentional in itself within the department. Just last summer, Dr. Sherrod went for a few weeks to Spain just to learn Spanish, be intentional, and being able to come back and help some of our students. So when she came back, we assigned her the freshman orientation course. And in that course, she had 4 or 5 Spanish-speaking students who spoke little English. And because of her training and her being intentional, she was been able to serve those individuals, and they've been able to do well. And so with Dr. Ashley and Professor Fry, the same. You know, we realized that with our experience in the social work field, that we serve we have served a diverse clientele, and the importance of being culturally diverse, being culturally sensitive, is some of the things that we teach in the classroom. And so, yeah, that's one of the things that we do in the classroom. But as faculty members working here at Oakwood, we realize that our job is not limited to just the classroom, or even in my case, overseeing and administering academic department. We work closely with Elder Ibarra to support him and his initiatives in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And with the church, just last night, Dr. Moral, who's a faculty member here teaching in the theology department, was doing a seminar, and I was doing another one for our church. And so we're very active, and the things that Elder Ibarra needs of us, asks of us. Sometimes we need to go and represent the university at doing weeks of prayer and different events, just to let others know, especially the Latino community, of the blessings that can be bestowed upon them by just being part of this wonderful community.
Right.
And so our responsibilities go above and beyond just the classroom and the academic setting.
Wow. So this is the largest group of diverse populations.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So we have others that are on
We
the
do.
campus as well,
We
as
do.
you talked about when we first started. So how are we really blending all of this together to make sure that everybody is touched and reached and cared for?
Isn't she a good interviewer?
Oh,
Isn't she a good interviewer?
Stop
Isn't she a good interviewer, Isaac?
Want me to take that one? Well, I mean, everybody that knows me knows the love that I have for cooking and the paella.
Okay.
I think you have tasted.
I have.
As a matter of fact, everyone in this room, everybody has
everybody
tasted
knows
paella.
that. The paella.
And I would like to refer as the paella because it really represents
wow.
what we have on campus.
Yes.
We believe we have 110 international students.
110.
you know?
Wow.
And actually, our diverse, like Dr. Pollard mentioned, we have a wonderful ethnicity diverse. And I don't want to get into detail which one is better.
Well, we
because
don't know.
whether it's racial diverse and ethnicity diverse, but I will highlight
here
the
we go.
ethnicity diverse. I will highlight it. And then again, I don't want to preach, but if I go to the Bible, ethnicity really is what matters, right?
Right.
But anyway, we have, like I mentioned, 110 international students.
Wow.
And
That's a big
every
number.
single one of the countries represented bring a special flavor.
Mhm.
And I refer to that to a special ingredient that makes a beautiful and
Wow.
tasty paella.
Yes.
That's
yes.
why
Oh,
every
my
time that I
goodness,
look at a
love it.
paella, I see all type of ingredients,
it.
all the green beans, everything on the paella that makes it beautiful, and the taste awesome is actually what makes it good. So
Right.
I cannot imagine Oakwood University without diversity.
Wow.
Because that's what is making beautiful.
I love that.
From Bermuda to Jamaica. Oh, I got in trouble and started naming
You start naming countries.
I'm in trouble already. So I will stop right there.
Well, one of the things that we know, and I learned this from Isaac too, from Pastor Ibarra, is that, and it's better than the melting pot theory,
Yes,
right?
I
The
like
old
that.
melting pot theory.
That's what I was
The
gonna say.
paella, and there was a wonderful article that was published, as a matter of fact, as a cover for Oakwood magazine
Mhm,
a couple of issues ago, on the paella motto, which it means that every element maintains its unique flavor,
Mhm.
but it also contributes to the whole.
Yeah.
So we're not interested in homogenizing the community.
Mhm.
What we're interested in is accentuating
Mm.
what are the contributions of the various differences.
Yeah.
And as I said to someone the other day, they said, well, sometime when some people talk, I don't understand their accent.
Mhm.
I said, well, you have an accent.
Right.
It just depends on where you are.
And they probably can't
And
understand.
they can't
it.
understand you. I've been to countries
Yes.
where the way I speak now, people don't understand what I'm
Right.
saying.
Right.
Because it's not the English they're
Exactly.
accustomed to.
Mhm.
So everyone has an accent.
Mhm.
And so a part of what we have to think about for those who often feel threatened
Mhm.
by diversity
Mhm.
is that what can console you and me
Mhm.
is the fact that God created it.
Mm.
The people who say, well, I don't see colors, I
Yeah.
just see flowers.
Right.
Those
Mm.
persons are colorblind.
Right.
Colorblind.
Because why
Right.
did God create all the different colors of
Mhm,
flowers? If a
mhm.
child says, I can't see colors, we don't compliment
Right.
that. We
That's
take them to
yeah.
the doctor.
Exactly.
Because we say, we need to
I love
fix
that.
this.
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So there's no virtue in being colorblind. We want to be color conscious and
Yes.
appreciative of the
Mhm.
various colors
Wow.
and cultures and customs.
Wow.
All C's, right?
I like that.
Colors,
I like
cultures, and
and
customs.
I love that. Now, listen, we know the students are getting ready to come back in August,
Yes.
and
God
we're
willing.
still
God
planning.
willing.
So
God
God
willing.
willing.
God willing.
So we talked about that CARE program. Our international students and our Spanish-speaking students and all of our diverse students here going to be able to understand that and take advantage of the CARE?
Yeah.
OU CARE
Well,
program?
I think we have to break that down.
Yeah,
Please
it's all
break
been
it down.
translated into Spanish. So the whole program has been translated in Spanish. So the way the CARE program works is that there are certain qualifying criteria, and they can get that information from the actual website
Okay.
as to what it takes. It's for freshmen, the
Okay.
incoming classes. So
Okay.
that's really important
Mhm.
because we've got to fund it,
Mhm.
right? We've got to fund it. And so the word is being spread now. We've had it the whole program has been translated
Okay.
into Spanish language,
Mhm.
and Isaac and the team are getting that out to everyone.
Can you just say something about that in Spanish right now for our listeners that we do have Spanish listeners out there?
Oh,
Just a little
nosotros,
bit.
esto es un pedazo de cielo en este momento, poder hablar en español. No lo estaba esperando. Para todos aquellos hispanos que nos están escuchando, permítanme decirle que la Universidad de Oakwood tiene un programa especial que se llama CARE. Ese programa realmente está removiendo toda ansiedad financiera, permitiéndole a cada estudiante que se concentre en los estudios y no en la finanza. Este programa CARE te va a permitir que puedas tener una educación cristiana en la Universidad Oakwood de tal manera que no puedas decir es imposible. Así que queremos invitar a todos aquellos que nos están escuchando que se contacten con nosotros a la Universidad Oakwood y le vamos a explicar las maneras maravillosas que nosotros tenemos de que tú puedas recibir una educación valiosa en un lugar donde se pone a Dios en primer lugar. Thank you. Thank you.
They got that
Well,
message.
okay,
They got that.
so I have been with Isaac when he has preached.
Okay.
Octavio, I don't know what you think. Isaac is the greatest, how can I say it, Latino black preacher, if you know what I mean, that I have ever heard.
Wow.
I didn't know what he was saying. I was shouting.
Right. I
think
know.
we were in Cuba.
My
We were in
spirit was
Cuba.
like, come on.
Yeah, come on,
Like,
more.
woo,
Bring
woo.
it. God has given him a unique.
Yes, he
I
does.
do agree with you.
Yes.
You agree? Dr. Ramirez, you agree?
Yeah, Dr. Pollard. I agree. He's very creative, and the let's just say the Latino congregation has learned to adjust
To
Elder Ibarra. But they love his strong, profound messages as well as the students. They really, it's on campus, and not just the Latino students,
That's
but
right.
everyone really enjoys his messages. So we're fortunate to have Elder Ibarra with us.
All righty. Well, Dr. Pollard, what are we going to end this on? I
God
mean,
is
this is
good.
I feel good. This is
Okay.
like really a feel good kind of conversation
It
because,
is.
you know, we're
It is.
really addressing, I mean, we have 100 students that are from different countries, different cultures and things, and we are actually serving them intentionally, making sure that they can come through, matriculate and be successful, get the care that they need. And I think that's really to be
Amen.
commendable.
And remember the diversity of our
Yes.
employee base.
Exactly,
The
right.
diversity
From top down,
Right,
right?
from top down, all the way down.
Yes.
Okay. So I think the word to remember is that the whole notion of diversity is here to stay. That heaven will be a very diverse place.
Mm.
And how do we know it? You know, I remember one time, I hate to tell this story because it's true, but one person said, you know, told one little black kid one time, don't worry, because one day when you get to heaven, we'll all be white. Just a little white baby.
Okay.
Okay. But that's not what John
That's not-
said.
right,
John said,
right.
I looked
Yes.
and I saw
Yes.
every nation, every
Hallelujah.
kindred, every
That's
tongue,
right.
and
That's
every
right.
people,
Yes,
right?
That's right.
So
That's
so
right.
even on the other, I hear somebody shouting. So even
Hallelujah.
on the other side, the
Yes.
markers of who we are and have been on earth are still going to be with us. Isn't that amazing?
Yes.
And all you got to do
yes.
is read the book of Revelation.
Wow.
And by the way, heaven's going to be a noisy place.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
that's
yeah.
but that's
Come
a
on now.
different that's a different sermon. That's a different- So we're grateful to each of these who are here. And we're grateful to Dr. Ramirez and to Elder Ibarra and for the tremendous work that they are doing. And congratulations on a magnificently executed event, the celebration of our Latino graduates this past Sabbath afternoon.
Oh, okay.
It's on YouTube if someone wants to watch it, right? You
And
put it
Facebook Live.
and on Facebook.
And Facebook.
And
Oh,
Isaac
man,
Ibarra
I missed
at Oakwood
that.
University, you can see. Oh, it was wonderful.
I missed that. Oh,
Now,
my
on
goodness.
Thursday,
Okay.
we have some frontliners who are going to be with us from Public Health, Dr. Shireen Brown-Frazier, Dr. Okay. See now,
Uh-oh.
I see the clock running down now.
That's okay. That's okay. Go right
Dr.
ahead.
Earl
You got
Henry,
time.
Dr. Earl Henry, and Dr. Julian Watkins, who is working in New York City on the front lines.
Okay.
In
right.
public health, a medical doctor, and they're going to be with us on Thursday at 8:30.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Pollard, and your special guest here. We appreciate you all being here and telling us all about the diversity and inclusion happening right here on Oakwood University. Now, listen, you all join us next week on Thursday. We'll see you there at 8:30 for another special edition of Inside Oakwood University.